Beautiful, isn't he? Come to find out, the duck is not as wholesome as we suppose. For those who may, after this video, say that you're still going to eat duck, um, that is something you're going to have to deal with Yahoo about. This character is unclean, but in 90% of people's um, videos or information, they'll say it's clean. They'll say chicken's clean, they'll say turkey's clean, and when you really sit down and start looking at their diet, and you really start looking at their natural habitat, and you really start looking at these things that we suppose are cute and wonderful, you find out that they were made for a purpose, um, and they are made to eat things we cannot eat. They're not like the cattle that have four-chamber bellies that know how to kill the bacteria off of um, the vegetation that they eat. Now, cattle these days, like the cow, you have to definitely eat 100% grass-fed. Otherwise, you're in big trouble because man, with his greedy self, has put animal byproduct, body parts, bones, marrow, collagen into cow's feed. So you have to have 100% grass-fed on the label, and preferably find a farmer that you can trust. Okay, not far from you, and you can actually buy cow from those personnel who feed those animals local grass. All right, and we'll actually humanely kill the animal for you. Okay, cute, isn't he? Yeah, I know. So let's look at 10 facts about the ducks, but we're not going to go to all the facts. We're just going to hit fact 3. 10 fun facts about ducks. They eat grass. Fact 3. Tree leaves. Fish. Didn't name any specific fish. There are clean fish and unclean fish, but they eat fish. Insects. They name particular insects, but there are clean insects. Very few. Grasshopper, locust, and the rest of them are unclean according to Yahuwah. So you saw it kind of like, ippy, ippy, ippy. Worms. We can't eat any kind of worms, and definitely small amphibians. I did a video with the turkey about amphibians. They're cold-blooded. They look like lizards. They look like frogs, tadpoles. That's what they look like. We can't eat that, but the duck eats it. Okay, and they also eat. They are opportunists and will eat fruit, seeds, aquatic plant, and crustaceans. Now let's look at this last one, because this may be the one that a lot of people are not familiar with, the crustaceans. Crustaceans. I want to read this portion here. Okay, it says many species, including lobster, crayfish, barnacles, and crabs, are important to human economics. Some very much so. Others, such as krill, are at the base extremely important marine food chain. Some others are critical in recycling nutrients trapped in the bodies of dead organisms. Okay. So it's talking about some crustaceans hatch young that are like miniature adults. Others grow through larva stage called nucleus. And down here you see this group. Let's hit it right quick. Right here. Apologize. It's one of those days where it's time to eat. Branch epoda, fairy shrimp, water flies. You have class Maxillopoda. Then you have class Malacostrica, and that's crabs, shrimp. Okay, amphipods, isopods, and we should know we can't. Okay, we know. Okay, most crustaceans. Okay, most crustaceans. Okay, just trying to emphasize these are crustaceans. Okay, most crustaceans, and here they are up here. Okay, see, can I get a bigger picture of this ugly crustacean? Ooh, There you go. There you go. But when they boil him, he turns red and he looks like he's edible. Okay. Okay. That's the crayfish. Okay. Okay. All right. Who says you can't eat it? Well, you say, well, I don't eat it. Shrimp, crab, lobster, water fleas, and its relatives. None of them you can eat. You said, well, I don't eat them. Okay, let's show you who do eat them. Okay? Where's the cute picture? Oh, here he is. I'm sorry, I apologize. He eats them. Ducky. Oh, eats crustaceans. It says it here. Okay? That's a fact. He eats him and many others in his family. Water fleas, lobsters, crabs, shrimp. We should know this as basic that we can't eat it, but he eats it. Okay? If he eats it, you eat it. So if if the duck eats this crustacean and you eat the duck, that means that you've eaten the crustacean. You get it? This is the level I'm going to now. I know a lot of people don't go to this level because I like Eve or Chua, looking at the tree saying, he didn't say I couldn't. He did say, don't touch the tree. Well, then the evil spirit will come, serpent will come, and Yahuwah let him come and say, tell me about it. Well, he said we shouldn't touch it. Then, because you're adding to his words, because he didn't tell her don't touch it, even though that was her actually reasoning it out. She knew if I touch the tree, I'm touching the fruit, right? She common sense. Anyway, yeah. Okay, let's look at the word. Remember now what these animals are, crustaceans. Remember who eats crustaceans. Cutie duck eats crustaceans, okay? All right. Yahuwah states that the cut, choose the animal, split hooves can be eaten. We know about that. Now let's go down to the highlighted portion. He tells us that salt and water fish, fresh water fish with fins and scales may be eaten, Leviticus 11:9-12, but water creatures without those characteristics. This is the main thing that we need to teach ourselves. We cannot think like the heathen. We must not allow ourselves to learn the ways of the heathen to justify everything because he didn't say I couldn't. Where he say I don't see the name on there. Where he say I couldn't. Because we are playing Russian roulette when we do that, and we're going to offend him, and you're going to be found an enemy. And I know you're saying, but I'm not purposely trying to be an enemy. I'm just trying to find a way where I can have a little bit more liberty. But you can't think like that. You're going to have to be willing to understand that even in captivity and bondage, you're going to have to live a more narrow way. Okay. Sorry, leaders. I know that that's probably not the way you tell the people. But shepherds, you're going to have to do better, because a lot of people are falling by the wayside and dying and getting sick and all that because they are literally... Anyway, he tells us that salt and freshwater fish with fins and scales may be eaten, but water creatures without those characteristics, we have to look at characteristics, okay? Catfish, lobster, crab, shrimp, mussels, clams, oysters, squids, octopi should not be eaten. Crabs, shrimps, okay? Let me show a picture, right quick. Shrimps, crabs, lobster, water fleas, and their relatives, okay? And there it is, cooked. Don't make it any better, okay? Should not be eaten. So if you can't eat them, I would say avoid it. Don't fall for the temptation, because it's going to be there. Don't think of yourself so wise in your own eyes. Flee, flee, flee. Avoid it like the plague, because you want to please Yahuwah. Yahuwah also lists birds and flying creatures that are unclean also. Birds such as chicken and turkey and pheasants they say aren't clean, but they are unclean. They are unclean. I just proved that. Chickens, turkeys, ducks.